This is the ThorBolt X1 smart lock, and it might be my favorite. Not only does it work with HomeKey, so you can open with your iPhone or Apple Watch, it has a hidden keypad, a place for manual key opening, a fingerprint sensor, and it's one of the few HomeKey smart locks that actually uses Thread for super fast connectivity and reliability. And at $130 here in the US, it's probably one of the best values too. So in the box, you get the ThorBolt lock, plus all the hardware to install, a little mounting plate, we'll get to that in a second, and you get those physical keys. You get 2 keys with it for you and someone else to share, and if you're one that likes the ability to have that physical key option as well as all the smart stuff, this is the lock for you. Now the only downside, they do not include batteries in the box, and this lock takes 8, that's right, 8, I don't even have that many fingers on this hand, AA batteries. Now ThorBolt says that provides 1 year plus battery life. Now my other smart locks, they use 4 batteries like the Yale Assure Lock 2. That does last a very long time, well over a year. So I would imagine 8 AA batteries plus the Thread connectivity, so it's not having to ping Wi-Fi and Bluetooth all the time. You should get very long life out of this, but I'll follow up in maybe a year. Now, I've installed many smart locks, so that went really quick, but honestly, the installation process is easy. Remove your previous deadbolt, then you can install the one they include in the box. They also include a spacer for the door frame side, so if yours is a little off, or you find that the deadbolt is hitting just a little part of the door, I would use their plastic insert. This way you know it's going to be a clean lock and unlock every time. When I first saw the backplate, I thought I was going to have to screw it into my door, but that's not the case. The backplate actually screws into the front side of the lock. Long screws connect that through the deadbolt. Then the rear side, which has the manual locking mechanism and the batteries, that actually has screws that go all the way through into that metal plate. Nothing actually has to screw into the door except for the actual deadbolt part, which you already had anyway. Now, when it comes to setting up smart locks in the Home app, I've had mixed experiences. Some smart locks you really need to set up in the app first. I've found that with things like Aqara, because if you set it up in the Home first, then it gets really wonky with whatever the manufacturer's app is. And while you don't need the app to use the ThorBolt, you can just use the Home app, never install the app. The fingerprint sensor, that specifically is not HomeKit. So if you want to use the fingerprint sensor specifically and set up things like PIN codes that only have access per times and days, then you will need the Sleek Point app. It works just fine. It's not buggy, has everything you need it to do, and you can set up multiple smart locks, and apparently Air Versa products are also in the Sleek Point app. When it came to adding it to the Home app, I had one of the easiest times of any smart lock. I just scanned the HomeKit code, I didn't have to put it in any kind of pairing mode or hold a button inside the lock, and it connected very fast. Again, this is the benefit of having Thread connectivity in a smart lock like this versus Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Now there are a couple locks with Thread out there, one from Aqara, the U200, and the Schlage Encode Plus actually has Thread, even though they don't advertise it as such. I asked people with inside info, and it does in fact have Thread. Now I did a video about a year ago reviewing all the major smart locks, including Level Lock, Schlage, Yale. I'll link that video above, and the locks I really preferred in that video still hold up, but I do think this ThorBolt, compared to all the other ones I've tested, is one of the best values. So once you get it set up in the Home app, it's automatically going to sync the PIN codes you might have set up for you and other HomeKit family members to the lock. So if you just want to use the Home app and not the Sleek Point app, you don't have to download that. Here in the Home app, you can actually set up those passcodes. Just go to your home settings, and here you can invite other members of the family, like you'll see here. And every family member, you can actually go to the Locks settings and then set up the personal access code. This will sync to the lock, no third-party app needed, and each person can have an individual passcode. That's also nice because you can see who unlocked a door when they're using their specific passcode or their Apple device. Also, anyone in your Apple home can unlock it with their iPhone or Apple Watch once it's been added to the Home app. And then it's here, and you can unlock it right here from the Home app, just dragging the slider up and down. You can also ask the voice assistant from your phone or Apple Watch. Remember, you can't ask your HomePod to open secure devices. Supposedly with personal requests on, maybe it'll work, but when I want to unlock something or open my garage door, I use my Apple Watch or the voice assistant on my phone. And you have HomeKey access, so you can just tap the top of your phone to the top of the lock. I like that there's actually a little symbol telling you where exactly to place your watch or phone, and it unlocks super fast. That NFC communication is seamless, and it was very reliable. Every time I lifted my watch or phone, it unlocked. You can also unlock it with the passcodes through the Home app, and I like how the keypad is kind of hidden until you tap it, then it turns on the light. Tap in the code, hit the enter button, and you can unlock it that way. There's also a lock button on the front, but you do need to know a passcode to lock it. Then there's the little door if you want to use the physical keys that were included. And if you were wondering, if you don't have the physical key and the batteries die, what do? Well, there's actually a USB-C port next to that physical keyhole, and you can plug in like a power bank or just plug it into the wall if you have that. and that USB-C port will provide enough power to actually unlock it. Now, obviously, you don't want to have that cable connected the whole time, so you want to replace those 8 AA batteries. Now, if you want to program some fingerprints, that's when you go into the SleekPoint app. When you first launch the app, it asks for your home data, and I allowed that. This way I didn't have to set up the lock a second time. As soon as I gave it access to my home data, it just showed up right here, and I'm ready to go. Of course, you can lock and unlock using the SleekPoint app as well. You see the little thread and battery there. And if you wanted to add those fingerprints, you would actually go to the Manage Access area. You see I have a fingerprint for myself, and you can also set up multiple fingers. So like I have my left and right index finger there. If you wanted to add access, you would tap the plus icon, name this. If you have multiple locks, you can actually specify which lock this is for, but I just have one for now. Then you can define the access. So this fingerprint or access code will be unlimited no matter what time of day. You can choose a set schedule, or you can even set this as a one-time, like if someone was delivering something and they only get to use this code once. You can then set a passcode. We'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you can actually set up the fingerprint here, name what finger you're doing. This way, if you want to set up multiple fingers, you know which ones you've already done. Or you can skip that, do add later, and you just have that numbered passcode. And then one other setting I would recommend changing, the auto lock function is really aggressive at first. Basically, as soon as you unlock it and close the door, like seconds later, it's going to close it. So this auto lock feature, when you toggle it on, I want to ignore the auto lock, you'll see the timer will be 10 seconds and you can adjust that, or you can adjust the minutes. By default, I believe it was at like 2 seconds. So every time I unlocked it, it would like immediately lock back. This door is actually a utility room in the garage, one that we don't typically keep locked. So I turned that auto lock feature off. And one other setting you probably want to change is the feedback sound. The sound when you're putting in a passcode and when it beeps to lock and unlock is actually pretty loud. But you can turn that off here, and then it's going to be completely silent. Won't make any sounds. Then at the bottom, you'll see the actual connectivity, which is Thread. You do need a HomePod or Apple TV with Thread in order for it to connect that way in your Apple Home. And you also get to see what kind of Thread device it is there. Now, when it comes to connectivity, Thread is obviously the preferred method, and if you have a HomePod Mini or recent Apple TV, you're good to go. If you don't have any Thread-enabled devices like I mentioned, it does have Bluetooth Low Energy fallback, so you can still use it in your smart home. You'll actually just need to be in proximity to unlock or lock with the app. Now, if you're trying to build out a smart home, obviously I would recommend getting Thread devices. Any HomePod Mini you buy today and the larger HomePod, if you buy it new, all of those have Thread, but Apple TV is a little different. Now, if you're buying a brand new Apple TV, keep in mind, they're not all the same. Right now, there's actually a Wi-Fi version and a Wi-Fi plus Ethernet. Now, this is pre-WWDC of 2025, so if we get a new Apple TV this year, I'll update everybody. Subscribe for that. But the Wi-Fi only version actually doesn't have Thread, which is kind of annoying. If you want Thread, you have to go for the Wi-Fi and Ethernet version, even if you're not connecting it to Ethernet. It's only $20 more. It seems a little bit nickel and dimey. I wish they would just have Thread in both. But you'll see in the overview fine print, the 4K Wi-Fi has 64 gigs of storage, while the Wi-Fi plus Ethernet version is 128 and Thread support. Now, if you have any kind of HomePod Mini in the house, you're good to go. Every HomePod Mini, all the way back to the original, which I don't think they've ever updated it, so they all have Thread. So as long as you have one of those, you're good to go, or an Apple TV with Thread. Just double check your model in case you're not sure. So is this the HomeKey and HomeKit lock to get? Honestly, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, you have a Thread device, and you're looking for one of the best locks, I think this is it. It's $130. You can get black or silver. The front is black either way. The silver is really just the border. But this is an incredible value for having the HomeKey, number pad, fingerprint sensor. And having kids, my youngest who actually doesn't have a device that uses HomeKey, she only has an iPad, I really love the keypad option and fingerprint because she can unlock it 2 ways, even without an Apple Watch or iPhone. Now, there's another great value out there, which is the Aqara U100. I reviewed it here on the channel. I'll link it above. But this one does not have Thread. It still performs well, has good connectivity, and is reliable, has the fingerprint sensor and the number pad, plus a physical keyhole, but I really want that Thread connectivity in my smart lock. Now, Aqara did release an updated lock. This is the U200, also has a number pad, fingerprint sensor, and this one actually has Thread, but as you can see, it is $220, and that's on a 20% sale. So if you're looking for the best value smart lock right now, I think the ThorBolt X1 is it. $130 for all those different ways to unlock it, comes with the 2 keys, uses Thread connectivity, super fast to respond and reliable. Until something else comes out, I think this is going to be my go-to recommendation for Apple Home users. Now, if you want the most discreet smart lock that doesn't look like a smart lock, the level lock still wins out there. Again, I included that in my big roundup review, which I'll link right up here. So I'll put that previous lock roundup right up here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. I do cover smart home stuff on here. It's been a minute, which is why I wanted to cover one. But I'm going to do an updated smart home tour when I get back from WWDC, show you some of the new shades I got and sensors. So get subscribed, hit that like button. If you have any questions about this lock or smart home in general, leave it down in the comments. And I also did a video about getting started with Apple Home. If you've never tried it, you're new to smart home, check out my video right here. And I walk you through step by step, setting up your Apple smart home, how to do it with a HomePod mini, and then adding some automations to really make it worthwhile. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.